My dad has always been drawn to the ocean. No matter what is going on, the salt in the air and the ocean's blue hue served as his reset button. That drive dictated where we spent most of our vacations, pulling us toward a very specific stretch of water. There is an island in the Colombian Caribbean called Baru, and just beyond it, Islas del Rosario. He built a house there, tucked in the palms on a piece of land our whole family fell in love with. Back then, I was an 11-year-old kid who just wanted to breathe underwater. My dad didn't just let me get scuba certified, he actively sponsored the wish. We both fell in love with the sport, so much so that eventually the gear piled up and a humming dive compressor found a permanent spot right there in the house. We dove these waters together for the better part of my teenage years. Our connection to the ocean was simply a shared experience, one he provided the tools for so I could explore alongside him. He was my constant dive buddy. We spent countless hours on the reef, developing that familiar, unspoken rhythm you only get from diving side by side for years. He doesn't dive anymore. Health issues, specifically a stubborn ear equalization problem, finally forced him to call it. He's made peace with it now. The compressor sits quietly, and the heavy aluminum tanks that once dominated the space are gone. But I still yearn for the water. Sometimes people ask me, is there actually anything good to see in these islands anymore? I don't know how to explain these, but for me, it's not about the spectacle, it's about going back to my old stomping grounds. I wasn't looking for a profound connection with a new dive shop. Honestly, I was just trying and failing to get in touch with one of those big, crowded cattle boats out of Cartagena. The solution came purely by word of mouth. That's how I found Bloop diving. No massive crowds, just Fernando and Juan running a clean, serious operation, paying attention to details, and knowing exactly how to navigate the local waters. There is a wall on the south side of Isla Grande that drops off into the blue. Thousands of divers visit it year-round. It's easy Caribbean diving, with gentle currents pushing divers along the wall. However, the wall drops down deep. On a day with good visibility, from 60 feet, it's very hard to see the bottom. Hovering over the edge, looking at the sponges rising from below, I realized I was doing exactly what my dad and I used to do. The reef has changed over the decades. The water is warmer and the coastline is more crowded. Fernando pointed out the algae, more of it than there used to be, fed by nutrient runoff from the Canal del Dique, from farms upstream that have nothing to do with this water and everything to do with it. But the structure remains. The wall is still there. Below where we can reach on a single tank, the drop-off keeps going into the dark. Nobody's doing technical dives here. Not yet. When I surfaced, Fernando helped me aboard. Juan was already prepping for the next dive. The boat smelled like neoprene and the familiar salt of the specific patch of ocean. I realized that even though the compressor back at the house isn't running, and my dad isn't my buddy on these dives anymore, the connection hasn't broken. He sponsored a kid's wish. He bought the gear, and we spent years exploring these waters together. He gave me a permanent place to return to. And I will. Thank you, Dad. Hold you close all night till the morning light. Won't you stay